Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Amy, when you can, will you allow me to share my screen? Please and thank you. All right, we are going to continue to have some fun today. Further exploring the KW value proposition, and we're going to be taking a look at a couple of other pieces today. So thank you so much for joining us as everybody is kind of funneling their way in. Let's start the way we've been starting our past several meetings. Reminder, if you're doing any teleprospecting, to make sure that you are in compliance with rules and regulations regarding TCPA and do not call list. At Keller Williams, our MVVBP, our mission to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Later on today, we're going to talk about some opportunities we are going to have to get back together face to face in real life, or face to face in real Zoom. However you do people best these days, we want to make sure you have that opportunity. And we may or may not have some of my favorites, cash-ish and prizes that we're giving away. And some of it may or may not be based on our KW value proposition. So I hope you've been listening over the past couple of months as we've been exploring our MVVBP. Pop quiz may or may not be coming your way. All right. For whatever that's worth, pay attention. These slide decks are available to you all as well through our resources page. Hey, our vision, it's to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers. We believe our values are God, family, then business, right? Our business supports our family and our spirituality here. Our beliefs, these are the rules by which we do business. I want to highlight one in particular today, and that is creativity. Ideas before results. If you were here last week when we started exploring all of the tools in your tool belt, you'll love how we're going to continue that conversation today, because we couldn't get through it all in an hour. And here's the deal. What's the creativity around these tools? How can you use these for the betterment of your business, either to create additional opportunities or to create leverage, right? To make that ever important trade-off in your business and be able to earn more time back, right? So that's where I'm going to ask you guys to stay in creativity, keep an open mind about some of these tools, and really look at where they can be true leverage for you and your business. Our perspective. We are a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. KW thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. There was one thing that really stood out for me last week as we were going through the tool belt that I feel like embodies this so much. And so if you weren't here, you will know that I got really, really excited about one thing in our tech. I got excited about a lot of things, but I got really, really excited about your mobile app and the guides feature. In my opinion, this is the most underutilized piece of our tech. It's something that no one else has access to. It is, it's got like brownie points all over it for our buyers and sellers in what it does, right? It is the contact point between you and your buyers and sellers, and it is what creates that experience they prefer when they're working with you. So to put that in perspective for you, and some more perspective, we're going to roll right in this morning. Donna, I understand that that we've got some very important conversations to have.
We do. I want to stress to everybody who is here how important it is to be involved when your clients are going to send money to the title company. Last week, we had a situation where somebody wired over $30,000 without checking, the buyer didn't check with the agent. They wired the money, and long story short, it was a fraud email. It says on the email to all buyers and sellers, please call to verify this is this email. And they didn't do it. Now, through many things, and it was Ryan Davis's client, he actually ended up getting it back, and it was only a few hours, along with a whole lot of other money going out of the country. Now, Ryan jumped on it quickly. The title company jumped on it quickly. The bank jumped on it quickly. I'm telling you that they are out there. Please caution your buyers. Put it in email. Say don't just accept an email from a title company without double checking that actually that occurred. And I don't care if you triple check, but let me tell you, when you lose $30,000 plus, it's a very difficult day. And luckily, we had an agent who knew what he was doing. And you guys need, if this happens to you, you've got to jump on it really quick. Have them trace the wire. And it just was a huge amount of a lot of people jumping through a lot of hoops. And I will tell you, I'm so proud of Ryan for getting their money back. But that's a very odd thing. It just does not happen normally that way. So it's really, really important that you guys monitor this and make sure. I don't care if you tell them 10 times, but they will lose their money most of the time.
Well, and for some of you who, who haven't been in the business more than 3 or 5 years, you may be thinking, well, that's just common sense, right? We never email wire instructions, right? Here, let me share with you what used to happen. The email that said, please provide your wiring instructions used to be incredibly commonplace. It used to happen ahead of closing so that the title company had all the information they needed, and wires would actually, be staged ahead of closing and funding, right? So there were efficiency measures on their part. Many years ago, probably in the neighborhood of maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere in there, ne'er-do-wells saw an opportunity inside of that and started ghosting, masking, hacking into real estate agents, lender and title companies' email accounts, acting like them and instructing buyers and sellers to wire their funds or to provide wiring instructions for their funds to an erroneous account, right? And so these ne'er-do-wells would get in the middle of your client's money and the title company and would intercept that. And those wires, in some cases, were untraceable and gone, right?
It's very rare to get your money back. It's extremely rare.
Yes. And so you probably have something in your email signature, or you have seen others, big, bold, red print that says, I will never ask for your wiring instructions, never provide wiring instructions over email. Title companies, pretty much as a general practice now, will get wiring instructions in person at the closing table or over the telephone. Even that can be risky, because could somebody be spoofing your email and providing a telephone number that doesn't actually go to the title company?
Yes.
So whenever it's a conversation that you should be having with your buyers and sellers about that. Now, we have inside of our E&O insurance coverage, we have some cyber coverage and some riders to help protect us in the event that something does go awry. And I will tell you, it's not something that we want to have happen. And making your clients whole again is incredibly difficult to do.
And the title company will take no responsibility and the bank will take no responsibility. Raise your hand if you're the agent. They may want to nail you. All right. So that's why I want you to, this is super important. It's been a while since we had somebody steal somebody else's money, but it is something that happens all the time. And honestly, you're just in the line of fire. Whether you did all the right things or not, you're the one that's going to be brought into, I want my money back, and you're a real estate agent, I'll get it from you. And Patrick can back me up on this, it is a huge, huge problem in the industry at all. It happens a lot. So
Yeah.
it is.
And Amy made a great point, right? This is why we have our KW email backed by Gmail. Every single one of us in our @kw.com email address is backed by Google for Business, right? So we have Gmail, Gmail accounts with a very, very high level of security, right? And that's set in stone by KWRI. Like we can't go changing that, which can be, you know, that the flip side of that is we don't have, it's not a loosey-goosey kind of Gmail account. We can't do all of the fun and fancy things, right? Like I live on Google, right? But my Google devices cannot run on our KW Gmail accounts because it's not secure enough. So I have to use a personal device for that. So there are some pieces in there, but that security is designed to help protect you and your clients. Now, some of us use our @KW email and some of us don't, but you should know that you can always use that as your home account and you can forward your vanity email to it. So let's say you have, you know, info@annakibble.com. I can use that email address and keep my annakibble.com, you know, vanity email and funnel it through my Gmail, my @KW email, which is incredibly secure. So something to consider inside of that. Definitely make sure if your email signature or your emails don't contain any verbiage to keep your clients informed about the potentials of wire fraud and never sending wiring instructions through an email, that you should include something like that. Donna, do you have suggestions or best practices for what you want that to look like?
Well, I would like that to be put in an email directly to them. And you need to make sure that they've got the title company's number, make sure they have the closer's number, or the title company and the closer with their number, and not an email address. I mean, it's okay to give them the email address, but it has to be, I know certain generational people don't want to talk to other people on the phone. But in this case, it's absolutely imperative that they talk to the title company and get the information directly from them. When you go to the bank, or when the seller or the buyer goes to the bank, seller not so much, but buyer, because the seller can get it at the closing table, but go to the bank. Make sure that buyer calls the title company again and re-verifies what those wiring instructions are. It is just, I want to keep you guys out of trouble, but I got to tell you, you've got to take a little proactive position on your side to keep yourself out of being brought into a lawsuit of which you really don't have any control over. And you will be brought into it if it ever hits the fan.
Yeah. Well, and all of the lawsuits aside, obviously, protect ourselves, protect our butts. Yes. We didn't get into the business to support our buyers and sellers when they have tens of thousands of dollars stolen from them, right? That's not our fiduciary duty. So in protecting our clients, you know, regardless of the risk we face on the other side, are we doing absolutely everything we can to protect our clients from that risk? Because that's
yeah, it's very important to understand we have a huge responsibility and there's a lot of money flowing around all the time. And so don't be loosey-goosey with what you're trying to instruct your buyers or sellers to do.
Hey, Donna?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
What do you think about the practice of myself, for my buyers, going to the title company, picking up a hard copy of the wiring instructions and delivering them to my client?
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay.
But I would include, again, a caution. just to be sure, when you as the agent, and it gets close enough to where they're going to wire the money, that you talk to your buyer and say, do you remember that sheet of paper I gave you? That's the proper wiring instructions, okay?
Okay. Yep.
And no, I'm fine with that. I think that would be really good if you could. A lot of times it's not feasible to do that, but I think what I would do at next time you're at a closing with your title company is ask them for a document that has the closing instructions on it, and then just copy it and give it to your seller, your buyer and sellers in person. Sellers can give wiring instructions at the closing table to the title company, and they make sure that all of that is secure. But again, if you don't have a buyer who's listening to you, it's going to be a problem. And I would scare them to tell them that, hey, we have a buyer who just lost plus $30,000. Now, we were lucky enough to recover. You don't want to be in that category. And I'd scare them. I really would.
I used that story from about 6 years ago where the people sold their house for 350 grand.
Yes.
And forwarded all of it to their new home, and it got that they fell for it and wired it to someone fake, and they lost their money and they were homeless.
Yes.
It was 350 grand.
And there was a huge lawsuit over that. I don't know that they ever got their money back. And yes, and it brought the agencies into it, which they really didn't have a thing to do with it, but they did anyway. And they ended up living in the basement of their daughter's house because they were homeless, literally. So tell the horror stories. I don't care, whatever it takes to keep them from doing stupid stuff.
Yeah, because they don't know it's stupid stuff unless we tell them it's stupid stuff.
That is correct.
They're complying with all of the other random instructions they've gotten through this.
Yep. And
Right.
with all the smaller title companies that happen when you're on the buy side, and they're title companies you've never heard of, there are title companies out there that are simply still emailing wiring instructions. So
Yes.
whenever we go under contract, as soon as we go under contract on the buy side, I reach out to the title company. I'm like, do not ever send wiring instructions to anybody via email. And sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't. So you got to be aware of that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So shameless plug for that really cool thing I was talking about earlier called the guide. You could actually set up a step in the guide that reminded your buyer throughout the process not to accept email wire instructions, and to make sure that they're very, like, however you want to put it. For those of you who are using it, add your step to the guide. Okay. All right, Donna, what else?
I would like, I'm doing a class at Smedra on August 11th for contracts. So if you need CE credits, come on over, register at Smedra. It's free for those that belong to Smedra, which is most of our office. And then what we are seeing, and I was having this conversation with Ricky yesterday, let me just caution you about pricing your property too high. What we're seeing in the marketplace, and Ricky and I looked at this yesterday for something that's coming on for him, is that please study the market real close. We are seeing, I think, Ricky, correct me if I'm wrong, was it, I want to say 2,100 price reductions over what, 7 days, did you say?
It was
Something like that?
It was over the last 30 days, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm checking it every day, and we figured that it was about 20% right now.
Right.
Listings have a price drop.
Right.
That's a huge number. And by the way, that's not a trend. I don't believe that's a trend. I believe that's actually a shift.
Yeah, I think it's a shift.
Yep.
And I'm seeing things that are too high stay on the market longer and longer and longer. Yes, we need them. But if you look on Wednesdays, you'll see the flip on homes on the market and then homes being under contract. There's a flip in that. So I think when you're pricing your homes, and I want you all to get those listings, but please price accordingly. don't give the seller a comment along the lines of, gosh, let's try for really high and I'll get you multiple offers, or let's try for something on this price and I'm sure we'll get multiple offers. I'm telling you right now, there are some cases you're not getting multiple offers. And you're also not getting appraisal gaps in some of the contracts that you're seeing now. So it's not unusual. It's actually to have an appraisal gap up until the feeding frenzy market. We didn't have them in there. So this is a shift. And I will tell you, the moratorium on the renters moratorium ends, I believe, unless the president and our governor changes their mind, on September 1st. With that, there's going to be another shift to a different type of product that's coming up. Landlords that can't afford to pay back their forbearance, we're going to have seeing those kinds of issues come up on the marketplace. So, you know, pay attention. And as Ricky said, look at it every day. And Ricky has got a house. And I said, well, how many houses are you competing with? And he looked up and he said, it's 2. But I know Ricky well enough to know he's going to look at that every single day before his house gets on the market. So he can tell, is the price that he originally told that seller, is that really the price that's going to be on that property? Don't know. It might change. Other than that, I'm good.
Well, thank you, Donna, and thank you for bringing everything to our attention with the wiring pieces, whether we needed a refresher or this is news to us. It's definitely a conversation we need to be having with our clients. Patrick, welcome in today. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Well, so tell us what's going on in the mortgage world. I think the first question most people always ask is like, how are rates?
Still good, stable. They honestly haven't moved much, and they don't move that much. They're hovering anywhere from high 2s to low 3s. It's kind of what we're seeing. So that's been consistent. Again, I know I say this every week, but those are being kept low by the government. We are expecting them to rise this year. So I still think it's a great time to get into a home. So if you have people who are waiting for whatever reason, you may want to just do like a cost of waiting analysis. Market may be getting a little bit more flexible, but I don't think prices are going to necessarily fall off the cliff or anything. So if prices stay steady or correct to more of like a 2, 3, 4% appreciation, like a normal market, and rates go up, people's buying power is going to go way down. So that's where we're at on rates. I think I spoke about this last time, but some updates to programs to make it easier for clients to qualify. FHA, VA, and USDA were down to a 540 minimum credit score. Previously, it was 600. If they're under a 580, they do need 10% down, but you'd be surprised, lots of clients do have that. Especially ones with retirement accounts, or if they're selling a home they own. We have a client right now under contract with a 540 credit score who's selling a home, so they have a big down payment. So lots more availability for FHA, VA, and even USDA buyers. If you had clients in the past who stopped looking because they couldn't qualify due to credit, that'd be a great phone call to make, to check in with them and see, hey, let's take another look. You may be able to qualify now. So you may have a deal sitting out there in your database that we gave up on, but now they may work. Okay. So make sure you're looking through your database for that. Other good news in the lending world, jumbo mortgages. I'll give you a little history on jumbo mortgages. So when COVID hit, we had about 9 jumbo mortgage products, and they cut it down to about 2. Some lenders weren't even doing jumbos anymore. And historically, for the last, I'd say 14 years, jumbo mortgages have been really hard to get. Meaning, if you were a jumbo buyer and you were trying to qualify, I don't know if this is appropriate, but we call it like a financial enema, because we are going to get everything like every deposit into your bank account, profit and losses, every property, we need a mortgage statement, insurance, taxes, lease agreements, letter of explanation. I mean, it was painful getting a jumbo loan. These people are well qualified, so they have lots of stuff. They have multiple properties, multiple businesses, and it was just a pain in the butt. We just came out with a new jumbo product that's going to make that very easy to do. Basically, we're going to follow your standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac rules on jumbo mortgages. So on a jumbo mortgage, you may only need a pay stub, a W-2, and a bank statement to qualify. So that's going to make your luxury buyers happier. It's easier. We have a 10% down jumbo now with no PMI. So those jumbo products are getting a lot easier and more lenient on the qualifications. What else? We just increased our bridge loan. We have a bridge loan option for people who are selling and need to buy and don't have the money. So we do a bridge loan on their current home, and that goes up to 90% of the value. So they can take money out so they have down payment for the new home. Just lots of good stuff. Like if someone tells you no, they don't qualify, maybe just give me a ring, tell me why, and let's see if we can make it happen. We have a lot of flexibility with that kind of stuff. So that's my update.
Patrick, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I read something, I don't know, a few weeks ago that the punishment for having a ton of student loans was dropped. Can you talk a little bit about what's changed so that when we're talking to clients that know they have a lot of student loan debt that they're convinced means they can't get a home loan, how we can help that a little bit and get them in touch with you?
Yeah, so a couple things with student loans. So if what you're referencing is FHA. FHA had a rule that no matter what your payment was, which most of the time recently on student loans, when we pull credit, it says 0 because they were all deferred for COVID. No matter what the credit report said, we still had to count a payment against the buyer in their debt to income ratio. And the payment that FHA established was 1% of the balance. So if it was a $50,000 student loan, we had to hit them with a $500 payment. Whether it was deferred, income-based repayment plan, did not matter. We had to hit them with 1% to calculate their debt to income ratio. FHA just changed that to 0.5%. So in that same scenario, a $50,000 student loan, now the payment's at $250,000. That's about $50,000 increase in purchase price. So again, you want to go through your database. Anyone who's pre-approved on an FHA loan right now, I'd give them a call, see if they have student loans. If they have student loans, we need to redo their pre-approval because they probably qualify for a lot more now. Okay. And then also the credit score thing. Now on conventional loans, if you have a client that was told no due to student loan payments, definitely let's talk about it. Conventional loans, we can get a little creative on those. So the rule on conventional loans, if it says 0, we have to hit them with a payment, 1% usually, 0.5% to 1%, unless we can verify they're on a specific payment plan. So the problem is a lot of lenders sometimes stop at, the 0.5% or 1%, where we can help the client set up a payment plan with the student loan company, like an income-based repayment plan. That payment will be less than 0.5% or 1% of the balance. So they'll actually qualify for more. So just with student loans, if someone was told no due to student loans, let's talk about it because we may be able to get them qualified for more.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. That was another change. So yeah, it seems like things are loosening up a little bit. No, we're not going back to 2008. We're still verifying your income assets. You do have to, have a down payment and all that stuff, but they are just kind of pulling back on some of the restrictions they put in when COVID hit. Cool. I think you're right. The market is shifting a little. I think there still are a lot of competitive properties out there. So if you need to be really competitive, get us your clients super early so we can get them fully underwritten, do a quick close, see if we can get appraisal waivers, all that fun stuff. Cool.
Awesome.
And
Thank you, Patrick. And
it's just
you
me and
have-
Anna in here today, so no hugs for me, I guess.
Well, I was going to say you have an event coming up. You have a happy hour coming up.
I do have a happy, oh, yay, I got
Yay, hugs.
Patrick, you're gonna get a big hug from me about 2:30 Monday afternoon.
Sweet, I
find
like
you.
it.
I will
like
find
it.
you.
Let's do it. I do have a happy hour tomorrow. It's near Sloan's Lake. You should all have an invite. I will post it on the Facebook page. And we're doing not a toy drive, a school supplies drive for a precious child, fill a backpack. So if you want to stop by and, you know, bring a big pack of school supplies from Costco, that'd be awesome. There is a list of school supplies that you want, but I mean, I don't think you need to overthink it. So if you want to stop by, we're doing that from 4 to 6:30 near Sloan's Lake. And I'll post that evite in the chat and on the Facebook page.
Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. What do you think? Are you guys ready to learn a little bit more about all of our tools? We're going to keep going. I'm going to talk fast today. Not that I have a problem with that, but a reminder, hey, we've got movie night day after tomorrow, Friday night at Civic Green Park. This event is held by your agent event committee, which hosts client appreciation events on your behalf. Perhaps you've seen the cute otter pops that were going out a few weeks ago, the great pop by style event that they hosted. These are completely turnkey events that you can tap into that are held on your behalf so that you can get face-to-face and cement those relationships with your clients. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Friday night. This is going to be a lot of fun. We've got I've heard nothing but great things from the events committee about what they're doing. Food trucks and snacks, and of course we've got a movie and lots of games and entertainment, and it should be an absolute blast. I'm so excited to get back to these events. Keep your eye out on the calendar for more events this year. Events. Let's talk a little bit about back to school. Oh boy. Goodness willing, kids go back to school in a couple of weeks. Like really, like leave the house and go to school. Like that's, fingers crossed, all of the good vibes go in that direction. I know my kiddos are really excited to be going back. And for a lot of us, that means we are getting a little bit of bandwidth back in our businesses too. And if you've been waiting for an opportunity to dive back in, polish your skills, and really, really get back to business, then our back to school event is coming up. And so here's what we've got in store for you. Starting Wednesday, August 18th and going through September, we've got in-person, face-to-face, and hybrid events and opportunities. Lots of these are training and productivity focused events. Some of these are going to be more social and allow us the opportunity to network, mastermind, and get together and be community, and all of those pieces. So check that out. This all launches on Wednesday, the 18th, with our team meeting, which will be our first hybrid meeting. So you're going to have an opportunity to join us face-to-face in the office. We're going to be doing celebrations. We've got listing raffles. We've got pop quizzes with cashes and prizes. We've got a ton of fun stuff. We have food. We have sponsors coming who want to be a part of your business and will feed you for the opportunity that you'll remember their name. It's a great trade-off. So here's what I want. I want all of you to get face-to-face on the 18th in whatever way you're most comfortable with and works best for your business. If you can get into the office to get the energy, awesome. If you can participate hybrid, awesome. Get your camera on. Let's do this, right? So we're starting on the 18th. We've also got our ALC meeting, which is our board of directors. That's going to be a hybrid meeting as well. So you're going to be able to participate in that face-to-face and meet your coach. Brittany Hamrick will be offering a informational session on our productivity coaching program and what it looks like to work with that type of partnership in your business. So that and a whole lot more in store, of course, as we lead into Mega Camp the following week, where we will have some in-person events every single day. We're really looking forward to it. We are bringing some of the best training, agent partners, business partners, CE credited classes. Like, we've got a full schedule for you guys to plug into. So what do you need in your business? Let us know if there's something you're really looking forward to, so we can make sure we get it on the calendar too. So so super excited about this.
Hey, Anna,
Yeah.
I would put a plug in for people to watch the ALC meeting this month. It's going to be a very, very interesting meeting. So if you have the opportunity to Zoom in or be in person or what have you, I would urge you to do that, because it's going to be a very fun, interesting, we'll go with conversation going on.
Well, I absolutely trust it will be. It always is. If you guys don't know, the ALC is your agent representation and how we operate our office. And, you know, some of our recent conversations have revolved around how do we best support our agent population with all of the different showing service options that are happening and some of the moves that are taking place in that arena, as well as, you know, some different growth and initiatives from KWRI and how we structure our world in our offices. It's a really, really neat way to kind of see your agent representation in action. And those meetings are open to everybody. So cool. When's the last time you visited a KWPM website? These two are at your disposal and will answer a lot of your questions. Definitely check out KWPM. That stands for KW Park Meadows, which is how we know ourselves here, right? KW Park Meadows, KWPM needs, as in buyer needs, seller needs, and showing needs, and KWPM resources. KWPM resources is where all of the stuff lives. If you've got a question about something, if you need our W-9, if you are looking for the slides from the team meeting, if you need a copy of our E&O insurance for anything, if you are looking for that resource, our office policy manual, right? All of that lives there on kwpmresources.com. And then KWPM needs. This is a great opportunity for you to help your buyers and sellers fill those property needs inside of our office, and work collaboratively to make sure that we get our people into the right place. And also, if you're interested in showing property and have the availability to do so, or if you're in a pinch and need somebody to show property, we've got a tab there as well, connecting agents together to be a resource for one another. So I definitely encourage you guys to check out our KWPM resources and KWPM needs. You know, I didn't show this video last week, but I'm gonna today because it's coming up really soon. I'm so excited for Mega Camp. One of the best things about COVID is the way it has required us all to look at how we do business, how we do life differently. And it's created a level of accessibility to others that we've never had before. Mega Camp is our second largest training event and convention that Keller Williams holds annually. And it's designed for mega agents, hence the name Mega Camp. It's usually held in Austin, Texas, late in the summer, which is a great time to go to Austin in case if you've ever been there. They could do it in like December or something, but I digress. Here we go. So Austin in August for Mega Camp, and and there's travel, and it's expensive, and it's fairly elite, right? I mean, to be able to get into Mega Camp this year, you had to cross a threshold of having $150,000 in gross commission income to get an in-person invitation. Because of everything we've learned in COVID, we've been able to develop these huge conferences, these massive gatherings of industry professionals into really accessible hybrid style events. And so that's what I'm encouraging you guys to check out is Mega Camp in August. The 24th and 25th are really the big days. You are able to participate in the hybrid platform from wherever in the world you see fit, right? Whether that's your living room or a beach in Florida or somewhere that's not Austin in August, right? And for several of our agents, they are going and they're going to be live in person at the convention center in Austin, but you get to have the opportunity to experience this as well. So definitely check that out. What can you expect? Keynote speeches by some of the greatest in the industry, by obviously Gary Keller, who's incredibly influential in our business and has been widely recognized as the most influential person in real estate, right? He knows a thing or two about running and growing a really big real estate business, and panel discussions. That's kind of the hallmark of Mega Camp are the panels. What you'll see is our themed interviews of some of the top agents in the world at whatever that is, right? At working with buyers, at working with sellers, at growing a big team, at being an individual agent, and at whatever it is they do. And they literally open their businesses and share all of their secrets. It's crazy. It is one of the most impactful events in real estate, and you will learn something that will increase and enhance your business from Mega Camp. We are also offering in-person experiences at the Market Center for a variety of the events. So keep an eye out on the calendar for that. Everyone is welcome to attend those sessions. Do your business a favor and bookmark Mega Camp. Make sure that you're participating this year. It will change your business. It may change your life, right? So incredible stuff on the Mega Camp. You don't need to see the video again, though, I'm sure. Here we go. So August 23rd through 26th, really it's the 24th and 25th. It's a Tuesday and Wednesday that you're going to want to bookmark on your calendar. We talked about this last week briefly. Outfront magazine, outfront.kw.com. You'll find a couple of really incredible resources at Outfront magazine. But what you'll really find are some tips, tactics, and strategies on how to be able to increase and enhance your business from the best in the business, right? So this is almost a year-round Mega Camp feed, right, where you're getting some of those best practices and secrets from the best of the business. So definitely check that out, and the social media calendar that they publish as well. Let's dive in to the communities inside of Keller Williams, because I think this is where we left off last week, and it's a huge value add to your business, because these communities have another level of tools and resources for you. Let's start with luxury. Did you know that a few things, right? Did you know that Keller Williams sells more real estate than any other real estate brokerage in the world? As a result of that, we also sell more luxury real estate than any other brokerage in the world. Now, that's a stat that surprises most people, right? Because we are not widely recognized as a luxury real estate company. But make no mistake, that doesn't discount the fact that we sell more luxury real estate than even the luxury brands do, while servicing everybody, right? And luxury real estate is its own kind of demographic niche. When you're working in luxury real estate, it can look very different than when you're working in traditional residential real estate. Luxury buyers and sellers have a different set of needs, a different standard. The marketing looks different, and the exposure of your properties needs to look different as well, because your buyer or seller may not be local, which is very common in the luxury markets. With Keller Williams, when we re-envisioned what luxury real estate support looked like this year, we really identified that we are the house of excellence for luxury. And you'll find that there's two different ways that you can benefit from our luxury real estate expertise at KW. The first is, in each market, the luxury price point is different. As you can imagine, what might be a luxury home in Pensacola, Florida, may not be a luxury home, right, in Castle Pines, because the price points are dramatically different. So that threshold for luxury changes depending on where you are, where you're selling. Every single listing that meets that luxury threshold inside of Keller Williams automatically gets a luxury marketing exposure treatment, which means it's getting syndicated to the international MLS. It's getting a spot in the Wall Street Journal, and so it's getting a different layer of press. Every listing that meets that luxury threshold also has the opportunity for the agent to market as a luxury property. You can use KW luxury signage. You can use KW luxury designs from Designs and Command. You can use all of the KW luxury stuff that goes with it, marketing materials, support materials, all of those pieces for every listing that's luxury. Now, some agents specialize more in luxury than others. And so there's another way to participate in the luxury program, and that is to have sold 4 properties that meet that luxury threshold in a 24-month period. So when you do that, you have the opportunity to earn in to the luxury homes community, which means you'll get tagged as a luxury agent in the KW referral network on Command, and externally. And you as the agent will have opportunities to promote your business through those same channels that the luxury listings get promotion and advertisement in. Also, you as the agent are able to advertise and market your business or your team's business as a luxury business. And so KW Luxury International can back your sales business as well. There's no cost to be a part of the luxury community. And when you've earned into it, you also get a special community of agents around the globe to be able to network with, who are selling real estate just like you are. Which includes a regular luxury mastermind with Gary Keller. So there's definitely some benefits to being inside of the luxury community there. So definitely something to check out. If you want more information on what those earn-ins are, or you have questions about your own business or your own property, feel free to reach out to the Market Center leadership team at any time. We can help answer those questions for you. And you can learn a lot more by going to KW Connect, and clicking on the top menu for community and going to luxury. Another phenomenal community of incredible agents is our commercial community, KW Commercial. Now, locally, right, the Colorado Division of Real Estate recognizes commercial as a specialty area of real estate that you have to have a competency in to be able to participate. So while we have a vast array of commercial tools and support available through this commercial community, if you're considering getting into commercial properties, then talk to Donna so we can make sure you have the support on a competency level for your license. So the KW commercial community is a community that you carries an additional fee. I believe it's $125 a month to be a member of KW commercial. With that membership, you not only get access to call yourself a KW commercial agent, and you can use the KW commercial logo and branding, but you also get a whole suite of tools that is specifically designed for commercial real estate. Those tools include an entire training platform and certification process, a handful of different sales tools, as well as some marketing and data mining tools that are used predominantly for the business to business type relationships, right? So there's a lot of benefits and support in KW Commercial, and they make incredible referral partners. Here's what I know. I know that to take care of my clients at the absolute best, they should have an agent who's the absolute best. And I know squat about industrial properties, warehouses, medical offices, storage units, car washes, parking lots, right? These are things I don't have an area of expertise in. And there are a lot of commercial agents that do and will pay me a very handsome referral fee for allowing my clients to get the very best service they can get. So think about that when you're thinking about commercial, and we can help partner you with the right commercial agent. And you can also search for commercial agents through KW Commercial as well if you're looking for somebody specific. There's lots of specialties inside of commercial. There are some agents do a lot of everything, and some agents do this and they do it really well. They do leases, or they do medical property, or they do, car washes and storage units. I've got a great relationship with an agent who does gas stations. That's all he does. That's all he's done for a really long time is gas stations. So if you want a gas station, I know a guy, right? And so it can be very, very specialized like that, and finding the right partner is really important. So tool in your tool belt, KW Land. This is also highly specialized, just like commercial. Now, for most of us, when we think of land or selling land, we're thinking of that 5-acre parcel in Elizabeth that's going to have a well and a septic tank, and oh, there's some intricacies there. Here's the thing, that is residential real estate. It's a different flavor of residential. You should have a level of competency in there, but we've got plenty of agents in our office who can mentor you through that process, and Donna's an expert as well. Our land professionals, these are thousands and millions of acre parcels that move with, with equipment, or with agricultural rights, or with mineral rights. And land can be incredibly complex, and definitely something that that can be worth exploring. So, so if getting onto the land side of the business is something that you're interested in, you can learn more by going to kwland.com or going to KW Connect and looking at communities and diving into the land community. KW New Homes. This is our newest community, and it's just launched this year. Our New Homes community is a resource and a collaborative space for agents who work in the new home sector. They either help represent many buyers in working with new home builders, or they also may represent new home builders inside of this. So there's a lot of opportunities from small to large home builders and how agents can work with new homes. We've partnered with Legacy International, who is the gold standard of training and education when it comes to those new home relationships and builder relationships. Being a member of the KW New Homes community is very similar to having a group coaching environment and program. So you're going to be learning a lot. You're going to be collaborating with your peers. You're going to be learning not just the intricacies of the new home and builder development world, but also different strategies and tips to really be able to get a foothold there, how to appropriately represent a builder, what they're looking for, how you can market and sell development projects, the flow of construction. I mean, all of those pieces. So definitely something to look at as new home development here in the Denver metro area isn't going away anytime soon. And there's a lot of opportunity inside of that. So check that out. Keller Inc. Man, this is a phenomenal tool in your tool belt. Not just because of the books we are familiar with, right? You might have heard of such incredible Keller Inc. classics like The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? The One Thing. They've helped many of us really build our own real estate businesses. And oh, by the way, we teach a lot of those practices here inside of Keller Williams. So when you're in Ignite or when you're in another course, when you're in Bold, we're learning about the systems and models inside of the MREA. We're learning about the productivity solutions inside of the One Thing. We're learning all of those pieces. But what about your clients? Right? Keller Inc. actually has several opportunities for what I would call buyer and seller facing material as well inside of the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, Hold, Flip. Some of these books were developed by Keller Inc. and by Gary Keller and the team to be a tool in your tool belt because they help educate your buyers and sellers about real estate investment opportunities and keep the real estate agent squarely in the center of that conversation. Right? Whereas there is a lot of real estate investment material available to the general public that will actually teach them how to circumvent working with a realtor. I don't know about you, but if I were looking to help my clients build their wealth through real estate, I would probably want them to learn from the best in the business, right? Some of the top wealth builders inside of real estate, but also from the guy who thinks it's a good idea for me to be a part of that journey with them and not brushed to the side so they could save a buck. Right? So something to consider. Inside of those materials on Keller Inc., you'll also find a lot of support resources for you so that you can help your clients with spreadsheets, with seminars. You can hold an investor seminar and not have to bring any creativity to the table. You can literally push play on the slide deck and allow Keller Inc. to do all of the work and then be the hero at the end of the day who finds the deal for your clients and is able to put it all together. I mean, there's a lot of easy buttons in this, and it is absolutely a big tool in your tool belt. So make sure you check out kellerinc.com for all of that. And if you are in a pinch and need a copy of a Keller Inc. book right away, we've got a pretty fair selection here at the office. We can add it to your office bill and you can grab and go. KW Young Professionals. This is a leadership and coaching community for agents who are 40 and under. Last I heard, they're not, they don't card, and they aren't hard and fast to that rule. And some of the greatest leaders in our industry and some of the top agents in our company have come through Keller Williams Young Professional. It is really an incredible community for you to be able to take your business to the next level and to connect with really business-minded, passionate individuals who are growing their business for the next generation. So check out KWYP. Bold. Business Objective, A Life by Design. Bold is an intensive program that's designed to help you take your business to the next level. I'm so excited that our office will be participating in Bold in October, which is a great time to be ramping up your year. More information to come on that. Bold is one of the cornerstones of our Keller Williams culture, training, and education. And a vast majority of us wouldn't be where we are in our business now without the accountability, the guidance, the group, the community of Bold. So definitely something to check out when it launches here in October. KW Kids Can. This is Gary's way to give back to the future entrepreneurs in the world, right? KW Kids Can is a charitable foundation that provides growth opportunities for young adults and those who are seeking a path through providing Quantum Leap, which is Gary's kind of signature training course to those ages 16 through 24. So any opportunity you have to donate to KW Kids Can, you can do that on your commissions request. You can also make a donation there at kwkc.org. All right, let me see. Here we go. There's the button. Like, oh, I want to stop sharing and let you guys all like go on with your day and grab some lunch, and I couldn't figure it out. Here we go. We're really excited for the next couple of weeks. Next week, Amy is going to be hosting our team meeting, talking about 7 levels of communication and how that has an impact in your business and how you can use your tools to support that. We're then joined by Kim Thomason from Land Title here the second week in August. And then week number 3, we get to be face to face, maybe even in person. I can't wait to see you guys all. And with that, have an excellent afternoon. We will see you soon.